What's going on, Leo? How is everybody doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of April 2024. So, in this reading, Leo, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you, and so much more regarding the month of April 2024, Leo. So, I am going to pull the energy for you now, and we will see what is coming your way. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Leo. Wow. All right, we just need one more card here for your challenge. Yeah, and that's the first card that came out. Wow. All right, Leo. So, wow. I will say, for real, it looks like it's going to be a very abundant, positive month for you. And I'm just feeling, especially with all these cards coming out, especially something to do with your finances, you know, and your work situation. So before we get into the tarot, and it's not just going to be that, but before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe, and these oracle cards contain the themes that you are going to be experiencing for the month of April. So let me show you them in successive order. The first theme is the second house of money and resources and value, and it's synonymous with Taurus energy. The second theme is the eighth house of transformation and mystery, and it is synonymous with Scorpio energy. The third and final theme is the north node of the moon, and it has to do with a new life goal. And the north node is really your soul's mission statement, and it represents where your soul is going in this life, your future self that you need to catch up with, so to speak. Now, the first thing is that this reading is littered with frequency about money, or the way that you make money, your relationship to money. This could have to do with your work or your lack of work, because the second house of resources and value here is, interestingly enough, exactly opposite the eighth house of transformation and mystery. In astrology, the second house has to do with your money, and in astrology, the eighth house has to do with other people's money. And the north node has to do with something new, and it has to do with your soul's mission statement or your destiny, where your soul is going. So there seems to be a theme of an exchange of money, you juxtaposing your own money with that of other people's money, and creating a new life goal somehow within these frequencies is the first thing that I sense. Now, I also sense for you that there is going to be a shocking spiritual experience that you have in April 2024. The eighth house is all about mystery, the occult, spirituality. And I feel that there is a spiritual experience coming for you. And for some of you, this has recently happened. But for many of you, there's a spiritual experience coming that is going to completely change the way that you value yourself. And it's going to change the way that you potentially relate and look at money, or even your own sensuality in some sort of way. And I always say, Leo, it's up to you to set your price in this reality. You know, act like a queen, act like a king in order to be treated like one. And in general, what's worth cheap is usually, people don't usually value it much. So I feel like this is going to be a month where you learn to authentically value yourself on a spiritual level. And I feel like it is a result of divine intervention for many of you, that there could be a mystical experience that just suddenly awakens you to the truth of what you're really worth or what you should really be doing on the planet. So let's go ahead and move into the tarot now. Your opportunity, Leo, is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is an eccentric individual who is completely, like, radically themselves. It does represent good business acumen as well, but it represents an enthusiastic individual that's super highly motivational and inspirational to those people around them. And I feel for many of you, this is your own energy. Now, for some Leos out there can be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or there can just be a very eccentric, enthusiastic, sexual being, perhaps, that is someone who is going to come in and you're going to be working with. For many of you single Leos out there, this can absolutely be a new love relationship that comes in. This could have to do with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius man that you are somehow connecting to in April that changes your life, or at least it's an opportunity. For many of you, though, this will be the opportunity for you to be in the King of Wands energy. And the King of Wands energy is someone who does not play by the book. They're an innovator, and the fire energy is related to the spirit here. And I feel that this is very much so related to the North Node, is that your destiny is going to require you to become very authentic. And what I would remind you is that authentic people will feel at ease when they see someone who is being authentic. Unauthentic people will hate or shut away or try to deflect, project onto people who are authentic. So not everyone is going to respond great to this energy here. So let's go ahead and get to your challenge, is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, when I was first shuffling, is the first card that came out of the deck, and I instantly put it back. So obviously it was meant to come out. The Nine of Wands has to do with unfinished business, wounding coming up here. And it's something that you may put off. The Wands also is synonymous with the King of Wands. So there may be an opportunity for you coming in that is going to trigger your old wounding. I feel for many of you here, there could be something that you really will excite your spirit, but you're going to have to work through some old baggage that you've been denying or that you've been running away from. For many of you, this can be, there's just like a shocking experience that may bring a lot of your old wounds to the surface, but I promise you, it is nothing that bad. Okay? It's nothing that is not what you're supposed to be going through, okay? Because let's look at your overall general energy, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Your overall general energy for the month of April is the Queen of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Chariot. This is all about abundance, practicality, being sensual in the physical earth realm. The Wheel of Fortune is to do with your destiny, the wheel of your fate starting to spin. It represents a major portal of opportunity, and it has to do with like a jackpot lucky frequency. So make sure you capitalize on this in some sort of earthy way, And the Chariot has to do with freedom of movement. It's a vehicle that gets you where you need to go. It also has to do with travel. And this person in the Chariot is like leaving behind the matrix behind them, leaving the city, and they're divinely protected to do so. So you're it's a month of divine protection and your fate. The Wheel of Fortune is very much so related to the North Node of the moon. I would very much so suggest that all of you look at your own astrology chart and you look at where the North Node is deposited in your chart by sign and by house. It's not that hard to do. Even if you're not used to astrology, I would recommend doing that if you wanted to. But I can say that this is a month of abundant opportunity and freedom of movement is what I really feel so far. When it comes to what you don't see coming, you have the Knight of Wands, the Strength card, and also the Queen of Swords. So there's going to be a little bit of a push through that you're going to have to do in order to get things going in your reality or to be able to act on the opportunities that are going to be presented to you. The Knight of Wands is an enthusiastic, youthful energy who can kind of self-motivate. It's very synonymous with the King of Wands, but I suggest with the King of Wands being in your opportunity is like you need to turn the knight into the king by actually acting on the inspiration instead of letting it fizzle out. You have the strength card, which is Leo energy. The centerpiece to this reading is Leo energy, which I think is funny. It's your energy. It's about moving through a difficult situation with grace, merging the higher self with the animalistic side of your nature. And then you have the Queen of Swords and what you don't see coming, which has to do with making a logical decision. It's interesting that the Queen of Swords would come in the latter half of the month, so there may be a lot of experimentation that you have to push through, or there may feel like there's a lot of new experiences that are very exciting, yet is triggering old wounding, triggering your animalistic self. This could have to do with being authentic and feeling like, well, if I'm authentic, my greatest fear is that no one is going to like me for it. And you might be authentic and then experience no one liking you, and most likely that's just a reflection of your own energy. Metaphysically, it's impossible for anyone to reject you. You can only reject yourself. The enlightened person looks at this reality through the lens of, how did I become a vibrational match to this situation? Not, no one gets my message. Everyone is stupid. I'm stupid. It's not the right timing. My kindergartner teacher, yeah. No. So it's like, I feel like there's a logical decision that you're going to come to in terms of acting on an opportunity, especially by the end of April. Here's the thing about the North Node as this theme as well, is that the North Node represents the most challenging thing that you do in this life. It's literally not easy at all. So this month, I don't think it's going to be an easy month, with the Strength card being the centerpiece to your reading and the Nine of Wands being in your challenge. It's going to be a month where all your baggage is coming up, unfinished business is coming up, but you're going to have to push through it, knowing that there is a reward at the end. Because the North Node, if you can sink into the North Node, it is the hardest thing that you'll ever do, but it's also the most rewarding thing that you'll ever do. For example, my North Node is conjunct my Ascendant in my first house, which means that the hardest thing for me to do is to focus on me, to set boundaries, to be in my own world, and to put myself first. The easiest thing for me to do, just as an example, with my South Node being in the 7th house of one-to-one relationships and Libra harmony, the easiest thing for me to do is just to be in spiritual relationships as a people pleaser. The easiest thing for me to do, but it doesn't bring reward. What does bring me a reward, and it's very hard to do, is actually being an individual, standing on my own 2 feet, in this life. And this is just an example of like what this can look like for you. But then when we go to your advice from Spirit, Leo, you have the Ace of Cups in reverse, you have the Three of Pentacles, and you also have the Empress here. Okay, so there could be something about not letting a new love experience get in the way of teamwork and abundance business collaboration, is what I honestly sense may not be what some of you want to hear. There may be an opportunity here that is very practical in nature. You have the second, the theme is the 2nd house of resources and values, the 8th house of transformation and mystery. And what I feel from this advice is that you need to get practical, focus on abundance, and involve yourself in a practical, physical way, having to do with the 2nd house, Queen of Pentacles energy, but it may not feel good. This new beginning may feel emotionally like disturbing to you, but it's still something that you have to do, or not have to, but it's a suggestion. The Empress is the pinnacle of abundance. She's the combination of all 4 queens, and this has to do with knowing that this is a portal of abundance opening up for you, and your overall general energy, the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Queen of Pentacles, is that you're divinely protected to take a new financial opportunity. And so even if it doesn't feel good, Leo, the North Node, when you move towards this, with the North Node being right next to the 8th house and the 2nd house, other people's money, your money, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good. You know what I mean? I remember like after I posted my first YouTube video like years ago, I couldn't sleep that night. It doesn't feel good, but like it got me to where I need to be in this life. And it's the same thing for you. Now, the other thing that I do sense here, Leo, is that there could be a new love, or there could be an existing love relationship, or there could be a love relationship that is really bothering you, that potentially gets in the way of this new opportunity, especially if you put love first. And I'm not saying like, you shouldn't be in love. Obviously you should be in love, but I just feel like there's something that you have to do for you Or there could also be a mixture of love and business that is also sketchy, is what Spirit is saying. Especially for those Leo men or women that are dealing with this King of Wands figure, and this is not your energy and your opportunity. If there's a fire sign or a very eccentric person being sent into your life, potentially as a soul contract to help you with business or something like that, interacting with this person, for some of you, with the King of Wands being in your opportunity, maybe to spot that, maybe like an unhealthy blend of teamwork and emotional love, or even a sexual thing. So I would suggest that whatever you're doing, make sure that you are aware of the undertones here. For some of you, there could be unwanted emotional or sexual attention when it comes to a new work opportunity. So you do need to be careful about that. But for most of you, I feel like it's more, and for others of you though, it's about not letting an existing person hold you back from this opportunity. Mom, I'm going to go do this. No, you have to stay home and take care of me for the rest of your life. Not a good move right now. And so, or this can be, for many of you as well, though, the advice is that you need to take this opportunity in the physical world, make something happen, and it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good, but you know what? The King of Wands is a frequency that doesn't feel good all the time. They're constantly burning others or themselves in order to alchemize. You know, like if you're the King of Wands, you've had to play with some fire in your life. And I feel like for many of you shifting into this frequency, even if you're a woman, there may be some masculine action that you need to take. But, you know, play with fire and you get burned. But you're a fire sign, so it might actually only amplify your soul to a certain degree here. Now, I will say as well, with the second house of resources and values and eighth house of transformation and mystery, this has to do with other people's money and your money. And then in your advice, you have the Three of Pentacles, which is about teamwork in a financial way. There may be some opportunity for lending, or there may be a situation having to do with capital that gets you off the ground, or is somehow given to you, or some sort of contract created with a new workplace or an upgrade into your current work money situation. And I would say be careful of like an emotional appeal there. Oh, I'm just going to sign the contract instead of reading through it. You know, there could be something about this where you do need to take it seriously, but even like, I still think you need to take this opportunity, but don't be desperate is what I would say. Like I said in the beginning of this reading, it's up to you to set your own price, because this is an infinitely abundant universe. There's definitely something going on changing with your money situation. If you're locked into a career, some of you could be getting a financial raise, but I don't think it's that simple for most of you. So now let's go ahead and get into this reading and start clarifying this reading. So, first card that I want to clarify for you is why, let's see why the Wheel of Fortune is here in your overall general energy. It's right in between the Chariot and the Queen of Pentacles. Let's see. Page of Swords in reverse. Something that maybe you did not premeditate about. Hold on. For many of you, there's an opportunity that you've been waiting on, that there's no more possible information that you can gather on it, and the timing is ripe for you. For some of you, you've been waiting to start a project that has to do with your own authenticity that will lead to a financial abundance. And there's no other information to gather. You have better jump into the water. You better take the opportunity, or it's going to pass you by. That's honestly what I feel. Keep in mind that there is a Mercury retrograde happening from the beginning of the month until like basically the end of the month, kind of. And so it is interesting. You know, you might want to really, before you completely change course, I want to say like don't do it, but then it's kind of like you need to do it. So I don't know. I'm not just going to say, okay, it's Mercury retrograde, don't do anything. You know, I don't know. I just get like, okay, for some of you, okay, here's what I get. This opportunity for many of you will be something that you could not have possibly prepared for. The Page of Swords is like the brainiac of the tarot, the librarian, the person who gets more information, the person who prepares themselves. It's the energy of being vigilant or vigilant, and it's very the person is waiting. I've been waiting to swing that sword. I've been waiting for this transit for 3 effing months. But no, like, you may have been waiting, but the way in which the opportunity is going to come may shock you, or it may be something that you couldn't have possibly prepared for. But you were made for this. Don't think, oh, I didn't prepare the last month for this. This has been waiting to happen for you your whole life. You know what I mean? So don't trip out about that. Don't worry about... Yeah, let's continue. Let's clarify why the Queen of Pentacles is here in your overall general energy as well. There could also be like a stalker type of situation happening, because the Page of Swords in reverse sometimes is someone who's getting information in a negative way with the Wheel of Fortune, so just be aware of that. Okay, hold on. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here in your overall general energy? Queen of Pentacles. Wooden barefoot. Chips, Twitch, Fudgicles, Milky Way, Snickers. Hold on. Yes, I mean, this is very positive energy here, Leo. The Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles that I kept emphasizing is clarified by the 8 of Pentacles, having to do with productivity and hard work. The 6 of Wands, which has to do with public victory, and also the Page of Cups, which has to do with a very optimistic, youthful energy that's full. It's a very gullible energy, but it's something that can dream. You know, it's that 8th house kind of frequency, that they're a dreamer combined with victory and hard work here. So, you know, for many of you, this has been something that you've been dreaming about, and this could even be something that you've been waiting on subconsciously since you were very young. This can be a childhood dream coming in for you. Overall, I mean, the Queen of Pentacles next to the 8 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands, you're going to be very productive and very, you know, getting a lot of recognition for whatever this is about. Whatever this change is here, Leo, I feel like you're going to be getting a lot of positive recognition. And there could even be something about youth looking up to you or something, if you are somehow related to that. Or your own children being, like, if you do have children, I sense for some of you actually, you know, and there's a little bit of paradox here with that. I feel like for some of you that have children and are using that, you know, you do have to weigh up, how is this choice going to affect my relationship with my children? And obviously, but for some of you, there's something about your children will actually really look up to you for this opportunity, even if it's something like, I'm just doing this side thing. But I feel like this is a big month. I feel like it's not just going to be that. Let's see why the King of Wands is your opportunity. Wow, I mean, the King of Wands is literally clarified by the 3 of Pentacles, the Chariot. This is about teamwork and divine protection. You have the 4 of Pentacles, which is about solid financial energy. It may not be something that knocks your socks off, but I got to hold my breath, because you also have the 3 of Cups, and you have the 10 of Pentacles, which is about long-term financial security, your legacy, a monopoly, business domination, and long-term everlasting success. And then you have the 3 of Cups here, which has to do with a celebration. And it's interesting to me that the 3 of Pentacles would be in your advice right next to the Empress, having to do with money. The Oracle cards are about the 2nd house of your money, the 8th house of other people's money, the North Node of a stretch, taking something that will actually benefit you, even though it's scary. And then you have this double teamwork. You have the 3 of Pentacles, teamwork, the 3 of Cups, group emotional work. And so it really could feel like everything is coming together for you. when it comes to this financial situation. 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Chariot, 3 of Pentacles. There doesn't really seem to be a downside here besides pushing through a little bit of uncomfortable emotions here. And there really also could be something about your money versus other people's money. You know, there could be something here about, you know, who's really benefiting from this. But I feel like if you can really, your opportunity is filled with nothing but positive energy so far. This may be something that you're not fully prepared for as well. So since this reading has been so positive, let's look at the 9 of Wands in your challenge. This could affect your love life negatively. This could be your significant other or someone around you. It's interesting to me that the 9 of Wands in your challenge is clarified by the 2 of Cups in reverse. So I sense for some of you this could be a loved one, this could be a family member, a lover, a friend who maybe you don't want to upset with this new authentic change. You know, you don't want to take this opportunity because how will they feel? You know, the 2 of Cups is a key. I will say that there's a key significant relationship for you that can suffer as a result of this. But you know what? That would actually indicate like an inauthentic relationship. Because if you're in a relationship with someone and you make yourself smaller, you're not in a relationship with that person. You're playing a character in that person's reality. So just keep that in mind as you go through this month. You have but maybe it's different because there's children involved. I don't know. The Page of Wands, also that youthful energy. And then you have the World having to do with an upgrade. And the World has to do with you cashing in on a reward. So I feel for many of you, the only thing that's going to hold you back is some sort of emotional baggage here. And, you know, you gotta cash in on your own bag here right now, Leo. There could be people who don't understand what you're doing. There could be people or yourself that views this as an immature move. But, you know, the world is here as well. So I feel like things are coming full circle for you. And there's going to be some unfinished business that comes up that definitely negatively impacts your relationship as a result of all these changes going on. And it could even be... Ooh... Yeah, for some of you, if you're like married or you've been in a locked-in relationship, your significant other could feel just a little bit uneasy about the fact that you're differentiating and you're doing something on your own or you're doing something with a lot of other people, and there could be trust issues and there could be issues around that. But that's weird. I felt that these 2 cards wanted to be coming out. And then you have the Knight of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Excuse me, the Knight of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles here. Adventure and independence. I don't know, Leo. I mean, let's clarify what the Strength card is here and what you don't see coming. Why is the Strength card here and what you don't see coming? The Strength card and what you don't see coming is clarified by the 4 of Cups here. That's really interesting. For many of you, once again... you might have to actually detach from your love life to a certain degree in order to actually make this happen. You know, you might have to make someone feel like you're going against their wishes for you. You know, and that's obviously not an easy thing to do when you care about someone. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. What do you want me to say? There's nothing I can really say here. For some of you as well, you need to have strength to not go into apathy. You know, this is a month for you where you're really going to take life by the horns and make some money moves and everything within measure, where we are in a Mercury retrograde here. But I'm not the type to be like, don't do anything because it's Mercury retrograde without fear. You know what I mean? But I just feel like some of you could talk yourself out of it, or there could be someone that talks you out of it. But Leo, this is what I got for you. I hope that